What is up, guys? This is your boy Falcon back in, and today we're working on a Chevy, GMC, Buick, whatever you want it, a 1.4 turbo engine. This comes with a Chevy Trax, Buick Rendezvous. I think there's a couple more, but basically this is a 1.4 liter Chevy engine, and we're gonna do a water pump. So we're gonna start off by taking the air intake hose right here. Should be like an 8mm bolt for this clamp, and then we can go ahead and remove the entire air box. So in this particular vehicle, the water pump didn't actually fail. It was just the gasket on the water pump. So sometimes you won't get any noises, but you will get a leak. So here we have the serpentine belt is way behind here. We got to remove this motor mount first. While we're doing this, I recommend that we go ahead and replace the serpentine belt, maybe the tensioner also. We have another coolant hose back here that gets connected to the thermostat. Here we raised up the car. We removed the tire shield or the skirt, however you want to call it. We need to remove the belt, like I said. So here on this bolt here, we're gonna turn it counterclockwise so we can put some tension in that tensioner, and then we can remove the actual belt. Like I said, I recommend replacing the tensioner and belt while we're here. Replacing this belt is a pain to replace it. At any other time, so we're already here, might as well put a new one on. So here we undo the tension, remove the belt right there. Tensioner will also have to be removed, so let's go ahead and start loosening it up. We have one bolt down here, and then it has another bolt closer to the where the belt sits on the top, so we need to remove that bolt also. Once we get that bolt loose enough, because we won't be able to take it off, especially the way that the car sits right now, and with that bolt in the bottom removed, we should be able to take off the belt. So now we work on our motor mount. We have to raise up the engine from the oil pan. Make sure that you use like the wooden block on the oil pan so we don't make a hole on it. It doesn't have to be super high, just enough to relieve the tension on the motor mount. Here we are taking off the motor mount. The motor mount has two separate sets of bolts, some 15mm and some 18mm. Once we remove this motor mount here, put it up to the side. Now we're going to work on removing the motor mount bracket, which is what's left right here. It's held by 3 bolts. I believe they're also 14 or 15mm. So we have 2 right here on the top. We are also going to have one more bolt in the bottom. That it'll be way easier to get from the bottom, from the wheel well. To do that, we'll probably have to lower the jack just a little bit so we can get better access to it. But once we do that, we remove this bracket right here. Same thing, put it up to the side, take off the belt. You see all this, and the belt comes out very easily. Might as well replace it now. So now we have one connector here for the cam actuator, and one connector for the I believe is a water or coolant temperature sensor. So now to disconnect it, I'm using a little pick here to kind of undo the little safety clip that it has. Once that's disconnected, moving this coolant hose kind of out of the way. It just has clips going on this plastic hose right here. We have also this like inlet for the turbo hose here. It has like a plastic clamp. We press it on both sides and kind of pull it off. Now this is plastic, like hard plastic, so just be careful with it. Here we have the water pump. We have one more hose back here for the back of the water pump. We just undo this clamp here and not mess with that T right there, because that T is plastic and it might break if you start taking it off of there. So I'd rather not mess with that. So we undo that clamp right there and start moving it towards the back. Then we have here the Jesus clip on this upper radiator hose. So now let's take off that clamp on the back. I believe it's an 8mm. Now that clamp is not original, so you might have like a pressure clamp that you might have to take off with some pliers. Once I take off the hose, the clamp, we can take off the hose and kind of just pry it to the back. It will still have some coolant in it. I don't know if I mentioned this, but we did drain the radiator before this job, just so we can prevent as much spillage as possible. Get as much coolant as you can out of there, and then just kind of like pry the hose and kind of put it somewhere back here, kind of held together by something else, just kind of so it won't be out of your way. Now with a E12 or inverted Torx, we're gonna take out the pulley for the water pump. and I'm just using this electric impact right here. Very easily remove it. And then after this, we're gonna start working on this upper radiator hose. Alright, that's out of the way. Now we work on the upper radiator hose and that coolant hose behind the thermostat. It has a clamp. I showed it to you earlier. Here it is. I removed it. It's way back there, and you can see the coolant coming off of that. And then now for the radiator hose right here, like I said, it has that Jesus clamp, and you'll see why it's called a Jesus clamp. With this pick right here, we gotta release the tension of the Jesus clamp, or this little clamp here. So we kind of pull it towards you. It should be able to lock itself, but most of the times he won't, and it will just snap out like that. We'll find it later, but now we just have to remove the upper radiator hose. Just kind of be pushed back. Now with this hose, be careful. It has like two big old O-rings inside. Sometimes whenever you mess with this radiator hoses, sometimes it's just better to replace them, but luckily on this time we didn't have to. So this is the new water pump, and looking at all the bolt holes on this water pump, now there is like 3 different sizes on the bolts on this water pump. So I'm using this cardboard here, that way every single bolt that I take off, I put it like on the cardboard, so to kind of like show me where it goes, because like I said, there's 3 different sizes. 2 of them are very easily to tell, like, you know, huge difference, but there is 1 or 2 bolts that are just a couple of millimeters difference, and you don't want to put the wrong bolt in the wrong place. So what I did here is remove 1 bolt at a time. It kind of made a pattern on this cardboard. Here is the water pump removed, and I removed it with the thermostat, as you can see it here. So I am putting a new thermostat on this, but I need to remove the thermostat out of this because I need those 2 bolts right there. So now it's time to clean up our area, clean up where the surface of the water pump is gonna sit. Here it is, all cleaned up, nice and neat, as it should be. And you can see the bolt holes where everything's gonna kind of align. Here's the new water pump. Now you don't have to put silicone like I did, and this is a very thin coating of silicone, and the only reason why I'm doing this is so it can hold my gasket as I'm going in. That is the only reason. If you feel comfortable putting in this water pump without any silicone, and you feel like you can hold your gasket in place while you're putting the water pump, go for it. This, you do not have to do that, but I do it just so it can hold the gasket in place. That is it. It does not need it. So now I'm going in here. As you can see, I forgot to put in the thermostat as I was going in, but usually when I do this job, I go ahead and put the new thermostat on the water pump and then put them all in at once. I didn't record when I was putting in the thermostat, but just kind of so you know what happened here. And here I'm putting 1 bolt at a time according to my little graph that I have here on my cardboard. Putting all bolts by hand, couple of threads, and then I go back and kind of snug them in with my impact. Now this Milwaukee impact I love. It has this setting where it only gives it like 10-15 torque, right? So as soon as it goes in and it kind of like bottoms out, it'll stop. I love that setting on it. And then after I do all the bolts, I come back and kind of tying them up by hand. Now if you want to be more specific, the torque on this is only 8 Newton meters, which is 71 inch-pounds, so it's really not that tight, and they're like aluminum bolts. So if you've done this enough, you can kind of feel it with your hand, but it's only 8 Newton meters. So that's it. So here we have all the bolts put back in right here. Make sure that you tighten them up in like a crisscross pattern right here, and then there you see the the thermostat that I installed. So now you just gotta put the hose in the back, that coolant hose back there, don't forget about that. And then my radiator hose, you can see it here. I already retrieved my clip, and I did put a little bit of kind of grease. You can use Vaseline or something so it can slide in a little bit easier and not mess up those 2 big old O-rings in the back. So here, if you put the clip back in first, and then whenever you're shoving the hose in, it'll kind of clip into place. Now putting all my connectors back into place, and then we're just gonna put coolant back in at the end, and from here we just kind of move backwards Here is the new serpentine belt, the new tensioner, and everything else. But that's pretty much it. Now from here we're just gonna put our air box back in and put some coolant on it. But that is how you replace your water pump on a Chevy 1.4 liter engine. Hope you guys enjoy. Don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for me, share the channel. I will catch you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching. You guys have yourselves a great day.